Good morning, guys. This morning I'm going to be showing you how I made those delicious bagels that I put on my Instagram with just the Chobani plain non-fat Greek yogurt and self-rising flour. You also will need a bowl, a pan with parchment paper and like a olive oil spray, an egg wash, and I'm using everything seasoning. Obviously you could leave it plain if you want, but I prefer the taste of it with the everything seasoning. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and preheat your oven to 375. Then you're going to go ahead and grab your baking sheet and put your parchment paper down on it and go ahead and spray it with the olive oil spray. Next thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and take your Chobani yogurt and mix it up, because if it's like mine, it will have sat in the fridge for a little bit and there's liquid on the top. Then go ahead and pour the Chobani into a measuring cup or spoon or whatever, and you'll need about a cup. I am just leveling out my yogurt here and showing you guys that I have a cup. Next, I'm just going to take my cup of yogurt and go ahead and place it in my bowl for whenever I have my flour ready. Set the bowl aside and grab your 1 cup scoop. You're going to take the self-rising flour and measure out a cup. Clearly I make too many bagels because we are almost out of self-rising flour. Luckily I just picked some up the other day, which means I can make lots more bagels to come. What is baking if you don't make a little mess, am I right? Then you're just going to take the self-rising flour and combine it with the yogurt. The recipe I used said to use a rubber spatula to mix the yogurt and the self-rising flour until it's to a crumbly state. Once you have gotten it to a crumbly state, you just want to go ahead and flour a flat surface and go ahead and knead the dough until it is of a good dough consistency. Once I poured my mixture out onto the countertop, I realized it was a little more wet than I had expected, so I will definitely need to add a little more flour to my mixture. To keep the dough from sticking to my hands, I went ahead and floured my hands just like you would with any kind of dough kneading. Unfortunately, it didn't help too much. As you can see towards the end, the dough inevitably still sticks to your hands. So I just kneaded until I thought it was a solid piece of dough and I could mold it into the bagels. I just went ahead and washed my hands from all the stickiness of the dough. After washing my hands, I just kind of rounded it off so that it was more of a round, solid piece of dough, and set it to the side and collected all the flour that was left over towards the center to help me with the next part. Next, you're going to take your dough and divide it into 4 even pieces. You've divided it into 4 pieces, you're just going to round it off and roll it out into cylinder-like shapes till you have the desired thickness for your bagel. The other day when I tried this for the first time, I made 8 mini bagels instead of 4 larger bagels, and it turned out really great. So today I decided I wanted to do the larger bagels so that I can use them for sandwiches. That's why my dough is going to be a little bit thicker, but you can obviously do whatever thickness you desire. After rolling it out, just go ahead and form the bagel, set aside, and repeat 3 more times. After I finished shaping the bagels, I put them on the pan that I had prepped earlier, and I'm just going to make the egg wash. I just put 1 egg into a bowl and whisk it until it's a decent consistency. Sorry about the light, it's going in and out. It was a kind of odd, muggy, gross day, and so it kind of goes dark and then light again. Here's the before the egg wash view of the bagels. Now I'm just going to take my egg wash, and yes, that is a paintbrush, and generously cover the bagels. That way the everything seasoning sticks pretty decently. Now I am just taking this everything seasoning and going to sprinkle a generous amount on each bagel. It takes a little bit of shaking out of it. It doesn't just come out easily either. Next, we're just going to pop them into the oven and set our timer. We're going to set the timer for 25 minutes and then they will be done. I was getting a little impatient, so I decided I'd peek in for a minute. They look delicious. And now we're just going to take them out of the oven. Of course, my camera fogged up so you couldn't see them. Didn't plan that very well, and I also didn't plan where I was putting them very well, so they're back on the same counter that we started with, and I struggled to put them there, of course. Well guys, that's it. That's exactly how you make them. I will link where I found the kind of recipe down below in the description box, but otherwise I just tweaked it a little bit to my liking and made homemade bagels. All right, hope to see y'all in the next one. Kelly, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Look. Say bye-bye.